Hello, folks. I wanted to welcome you once again. For those of you who are new to me, my name is Coach Shanelle. I am a success coach, an author, and I'm also a speaker. I actually started my business back in the recession around 2009, 2010. I was looking for a way in which to gather women together to be able to learn, to grow, and to build business in a down economy. We were able to do a free workshop series called Building Your Business, where we were able to do just that, created an environment where it was safe for women to open up, to express what they were going on in business, to learn from each other, to compile our resources, and to build a business in a down economy. Several of those businesses are still going on today, and I'm really proud of that. That's how I got my start. As a result of that program, Building Your Business, I actually ended up getting opportunities to go and speak on radio for events and also on television, just from the passion that I expressed for that program. So with that being said, that's how I actually ended up going into coaching, because some ladies approached me who had attended the workshop series, asked me if I would be interested in coaching, and hence my business, SE Coaching, was born. And with that being said, I do want to go ahead and get started. Our topic today is 5 ways to build your confidence. Now, what I do now in my coaching practice is I help dope women to level up and live a better life. The areas that I concentrate on for training and coaching women is to build their confidence, to boost their income, and to help them crush their goals, right? Because we need all 3 combined. And I do want to give you guys some tips on building your confidence, because what I've found a lot is that people know that they need to build their confidence, but they don't know where to get started. And there's some key areas that I think that you can start on with improving and building your confidence and improving your self-image as well. And I'm going to go ahead and get right into it, okay? So our first one, I would say personal care, right? And so oftentimes I've found when clients come to me and they say that their confidence has been shot, they feel discouraged, they feel like their spirit might have been broken. One of the first things that I have noticed that they tend to show is that they're lacking in personal care, right? And so sometimes when you have some setbacks in life and you have some things that are going on that might be breaking your spirit or pulling your energy down, you start to neglect your personal care, right? And let's just be honest, when we tend to look better, a lot of times we feel better, right? And so if you have noticed that lately that your confidence is shot, and that you're also neglecting your personal care, I would say first, that's one thing that you actually definitely can fix that's tangible, right? And so that means, making sure you get proper sleep, making sure that you are getting dressed and getting out of bed, right? I have to say that a few times now, right? Because the current state of our lives is a lot of people are home and a lot of people have been home. Do you guys know that it's been a year now that a lot of us had started sheltering in place? And so you've been home for a while. And so being able to make sure that you get dressed and get out of bed and devote yourself to something can do wonders for your confidence, right? And so what I'm seeing is a lot of women are finding it hard to stay confident because they're not able to access some of the things for their personal care that they need. They're not able to have places to go, so they feel like they don't need to get dressed, and they don't have a regular schedule to attend to, so they feel like they don't have things to look forward to and those sorts of things. And so definitely taking care of your personal care. That goes into your hygiene, that goes into getting dressed, that goes into just caring and doing some self-care time for yourself. Your thing for personal care may not necessarily be that you don't get dressed and don't do makeup and don't do your hair and those sorts of things, but you might be a person where it's self-care, right? So you're so busy that you're not actually looking into taking care of yourself, right? And doing something aside from the things that you do for other people and focusing on and honing on some things that you can do for yourself, right? And so the first step, I would say, definitely would be to focus on personal care, right? And that's going to do so many dividends, because as you start to work on your personal care, you'll start to feel better, you'll start to look better, your energy levels will pick up, you'll start to smile more, and your confidence will show. Confidence is something that we build from the inside out. And so oftentimes what I find is a little bit confusing is that a lot of people get these messages about confidence, and they are showing people how to do it externally only, right? So they're telling people to fake it till you make it. They're telling people to put on this sort of outfit, or drive this sort of car, or pay this money, or live in this neighborhood. And these are things that'll boost your confidence. And oftentimes those things may work for a little bit of time, but the internal work is where we really need to start, right? And so you can have all those things externally, but if you're not working on what's going on in the inside, is at some point those two worlds are going to collide. And we know what that happens, right? And so you're going to have something that you need to address, right? Okay. The second one is, I would say, if you are starting to see that your confidence is not at a high level, I would say work on positive self-talk, right? And so another thing I've noticed is when you start to have your confidence start to go low, you'll realize that the way in which you talk about yourself is not the kindest. Let's say it that way, right? And so maybe you might hear a critical voice all the time when you're making decisions. Maybe you might insult yourself, say things like, I can't never get things done. I had a colleague when I used to work in corporate, and when she would start tasks, she would always put herself down. And I used to, while I was in the workforce, I would constantly tell her, no, that's not who you are. So she would say things like, I know why I didn't get that accomplished. I'm lazy. And she was actually one of the hardest workers. So I say, you're not lazy. You were here in the morning before we started. You leave at the end. That's not lazy. That's hardworking. Or she'd say, I know I didn't understand this because I'm stupid. And she had like multiple degrees. She was very intelligent, but it was just something that she had told herself over the years. And some people had talked to her, and she took that internal criticism, and then she just made it become her own voice speaking to herself. And although her results and the way in which she was showing up was very different than that, she was actually quite an achiever, she didn't feel it and believe it within herself. And so if you are noticing that you're hearing sort of a negative voice or a critical voice within your head or within your heart when you're doing certain things, I would say work on the way in which you talk to yourself. Make sure that the way you talk to yourself isn't as kind as you talk to other people as well, right? And so I've seen sometimes when people have a negative self-talk voice, that they're actually extremely kind to other people, but they're actually not the nicest to themselves, right? And so you want to be kind to yourself. You are in this body, and you have this spirit with you for a very long time. It's quite all right for you to nurture it, right? And so take the time that you need to be able to get to know yourself, to be able to realize some things that you love about yourself, and be able to accomplish that, right? And so I would say positive self-talk is another, right? Okay, and so what are some ways in which you can work on positive self-talk? Well, you guys know I'm a big believer in affirmations. I love affirmations. Why? Because it allows you to speak the things that you want for yourself as though they are. And as you start to continue to repeat those things to yourself and take action, right? I'm a big believer in doing the work, right? But if you speak those things to yourself and you take action, you start an internal dialogue, which starts to inform yourself of some new messages for your mind. And you'll keep doing that until a point of repetition. And then your mind and your body starts to adjust to that, right? And so that's why we do affirmations. So you can't say, I am a millionaire, and then go and sleep for 18 hours a day and then do no work, and then wonder why it didn't manifest itself, right? So affirmations is a start, but it's not the end of it. And I say that because some people actually feel like that's what you do. You just say affirmations and then things will just pop up, and that it doesn't work that way, right? So there's some things that you need to do in terms of the energy that you put behind the affirmation, but the affirmation is a great start, right? And so our second one was personal care, right? Okay, and so it was positive self-talk. Please forgive me. Our first one was personal care. Our second one was positive self-talk. All right, and on to number 3, gratitude, right? Okay, so since we're talking about positive self-talk, one of the things that can definitely help you to see things in a clearer point of view is gratitude, right? And so one of the things I can tell you is that you can do immediately is if you're starting to see that your confidence is shot, if you're starting to feel like you're viewing the world from a negative place, if you're starting to feel like you don't have things to look forward to or things to be grateful for, I really ask that you incorporate a daily gratitude practice, right? So that could mean that you journal it down, right? So you write down your thoughts at the end of the night before bed and just think of some things that you were grateful for that day. It might mean that in the morning when you get up, you say, I'm grateful for this. Maybe yours is meditation. And while you're in a meditative state, you concentrate on the things that you are happy and you're grateful for. Yours could also mean that maybe you say those things in prayer, right? But it's all about how it works best for you. I know some people need to write it because they need to see it. It might be on a Post-it note or it might be on a list. It may be in a journal, right? Some of you need to speak it aloud, right? And so that's how you best learn and that's how you best take things in. So if that is who you are, then your gratitude needs to be said out loud. If you're not a person where it needs to be spoken aloud, maybe yours might mean that you need to hear it within. And so it might be for you to say it to yourself in a meditation or a prayer, right? But whatever works for you. But I would definitely say some things. If you're a person, if you really are a person where you don't want to say it aloud, there are some things that you can listen to, which are gratitude practices and affirmations as well. And you can actually look those up on YouTube where people are saying things to be grateful for, things people are saying, affirmative things, and you can actually listen to those things on repeat and begin to start to take those things into yourself. So if that's not you where you need to say it aloud, but you'd rather somebody say it and you can hear it, then you can do it that way as well, right? All right, so our number 3 was gratitude. Okay, and our number 4 is to set realistic goals. Let me say that again, realistic goals, right? So if your confidence is shot, it may have something to do with the fact that maybe your goals aren't in a realistic place, right? So maybe you've had some really huge goals and you just don't have a strategy in place to be able to get from point A to point B. It could mean that you have some goals, but maybe your timeline is what's not realistic, right? So maybe you want to be a millionaire, but you want to be a millionaire within 6 months. That may not necessarily be the timeline that you need for that, right? Unless you have some really great ideas. And if you do, and you think that you can make $1 million in 6 months, please let me know in the comments. I'd like to invest. But sometimes it's the goal is great, but the strategy is not in line with the goal. Sometimes it may be that your goal is great, but your timeline is not realistic, right? And sometimes it might mean that sometimes the goals that you have is trying to produce something internally with an external thing, right? And so I know some people, they really want to feel like they have stability. They want to feel like they're in a place where they feel comfortable with themselves. And so they'll try to do and set goals that will allow them to obtain a lot of things externally. And what they find out as they continue to chase the next thing that's external, they start to find out that they actually don't feel any better, right? And so that's because they were looking to obtain something that should have been an internal goal with external things, and that just doesn't work, right? And so sometimes the goal just may be out of alignment with what you truly need, and you're trying to fix something internally that just wasn't meant to be fixed with something that was external, right? And so it's all about setting realistic goals. What can you do with the resources that you have? What can you do with the timeline that you have? What can you do with the current strategy that you have? And is the goal that you're setting for going to do the thing that you actually need in that point in time, making sure that you're not misdirecting your energy, right? And so our number 4 is to set realistic goals, right? All right, and our final one, final one is support, right? And so one of the ways in which you can really help to boost your confidence is to have a positive and supportive community of people around you. That might be an accountability group. It may be a group of friends who really just have your back and they'll go to bat for you. And when you start to feel your confidence lagging, they'll remind you of who you are, the great things that you know about yourself that sometimes you forget, the fact that this is only momentary and it's not a lifelong issue, the fact that you can do some other things to build your confidence, Or maybe it might also mean sometimes your friends need to show you like, hey, I'm noticing some things, like maybe your personal care is not where it's at, and how have you been feeling? Or I've noticed that, you haven't been talking to people, and you're starting to kind of to isolate yourself, those sorts of things. So a supportive community could be somebody who is uplifting you and telling you things, but a supportive community can also be someone who helps to hold you accountable, helps you to remind you of what your goals are, helps you to keep you on track as well, right? And so those two things can be support. Support can come in the form of positive feedback, can come in the form of constructive criticism. It can also come into motivation, encouragement, also showing up and making sure that your actions show that you're supporting people, but making sure that you have a supportive community. It might also be your family. It could be your spouse or significant other. And if you don't have a community of support, then I would say you can also find these sorts of places online, right? So it might be a Facebook group, a meetup group, something, but see if you can get an area in which you feel support. And if you have some other things that are going on that are more from a mental health issue, I would say maybe your support may be in one of those sorts of groups. So it might be that you need to be in a support group, maybe with a licensed facilitator or a therapist who can help you to work through whatever rough patch you're going through, right? And sometimes, confidence can come and be shot from some things that are really on a more emotional or mental level, right? And so I'm not negating that. I'm just saying for people who wanted some ways to boost your confidence and maybe you're looking for where to get started, right? And so I really hope that this was helpful. I do want to talk about one thing before we wrap up. Let me grab my book. All right. So for those of you who haven't seen on the page, my latest book is called The Ready for More Workbook. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Yeah. The Ready for More Workbook. It's a 60-day faith journey to a better life and a stronger you. I made this workbook for women who were looking for how to build a better life, how to build a stronger version of themselves, who were looking for assistance with building confidence, is mentioned in this book, having a healthier self-image and self-discovery is in the book, communication skills, setting boundaries, being able to set goals and understand your mission, and to also have some built-in accountability. The workbook includes activities, it includes motivation, and encouragement. It includes some reflection questions, and it includes some prayers, right? So all the things that you need to go on a faith journey to help you build a better you and a stronger life as well. And if you are interested, this month we have a promotion going on, which is the Ready for More Workbook Bundle. It includes the workbook, which is a full color 92-page workbook, so it's pretty intense. It's something that allow you to take some time. It has some tools to help you work through the book, which includes some note cards to write those aha moments, a pen, a highlighter from when you're really starting to see things that resonate with you and you want to hold on to those things. It also includes some goal setting worksheets, right? So you can start to write down these realistic goals that we discussed here today and track your progress. And it also includes access to a Facebook group for accountability and support, right? Didn't I just wrap this message up great? So you can find out and work through these different areas of building your confidence, helping you to maintain realistic goals, and helping you to find a community of support. And so if that is for you, I ask that you please take advantage of the promotion that we have. I'm going to go ahead and put this URL on your screen. And this is where you can find the book. I'm going to show you the book one more time. All right, and as I mentioned, the workbook bundle also comes with those items that we discussed. You can go ahead and grab that for a lovely price of $25. It's only for the month of March that it'll be at that price. After that, the prices will go up. If you want to grab your bundle, I ask that you go ahead. If you think that this message is something that would resonate with one of your friends, your family members, or your colleagues, please go ahead and share it. For folks, again, that are new to me, my name is Coach Shanelle. I am a success coach. I am a speaker and I'm a 4-time author. That is my latest book, The Workbook. I also have 3 other devotionals and prayer guides. If you are interested in finding out more about me, I'm going to post a link for you to get in touch with me. This is my Smart Bio link. It includes my access to resources, some of the books and things that I sell. It includes an access to booking a coaching session and helping you stay in a loop with some upcoming events that I have coming as well. I look forward to speaking with you soon. I wish you folks much success, and I wish you much love until we speak again. I hope that you have a good evening. Take care. Bye.